Hey fellow comrades, welcome back to our newest edition of our RPG series. Today we're going to be using Articuno with Power Herb, Jolly Nature, heavily invested in attack and speed, running Sky Attack, Stone Head, Stealth Rocks and Taunt, requested by the following player. Then we're going to be using Articuno, our only special attacker. I could have run a couple of others being special attackers, but really in all respect, they wouldn't have proved to be that reliable. Like for example, like a freaking special attack in Snorlax, hell no. But Life Orb, Articuno, Timid Nature, heavily invested in speed and attack, special attack that is running Ice Beam, Hurricane, Rain Dance and Roost. Then for our next Pokemon we're gonna be having Draudigon running Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, Impish Nature, heavily invested in defense, 4 in attack and 252 in HP, running Taunt, Sucker Punch, Dragon Claw and Glare for some paralyzation supports and making a couple of fast Pokemon slow. And who knows what else. Choice Scarf, Luxray, this guy did have a good point. My team is actually pretty slow outside of my Articuno, that's quite fast, and for that reason alone I kinda decide to pick this set right here. We have Wild Charge, Superpower, Ice Fang and Crunch. Now if a person is gonna decide to put up any Toxic Spikes, that's even gonna activate our Guts, making us extremely powerful and extremely fast at the same time. I believe it equals the speed of Crobat, or I believe it's slower by 1 point if I'm not mistaken, like 393 and Crobat is 394. You know, it's up there with Persians, outspeeding them and so on. But Double Dancing Rhyperior, this one is going to be running Life Orb, Jolly Nature, it's all about speed, Solid Rock, heavily invested in attack and speed, Rock Polish, Sword Dance, Earthquake and Stone Edge. It kind of stood out to be a really interesting set, and last remaining Pokemon we're going to be using Snorlax with Chesto Berry, Thick Fat, heavily invested in attack and kind of like a mixture in special defense and HP, running Rest, Recycle, Body Slam and Rock Slide. Now just imagining Snorlax using Recycle, I mean how in the world does that work? He eats his berry, then he, oh my god, I'm not gonna even imagine that, that's horror. But yeah, that is gonna be the team for today, so without further ado, let's jump in the heart of the match itself. Okay, here we are. Now there are a couple of threats I gotta mention. First threat that comes to my mind is his cursing Quagsire that may just be, and that can be a problem against my team. Checking out my team, I only have one special attacker, and after a curse, Quagsire can kinda go through my team. It's ridiculous how unreliable this team is against Quagsire to begin with, but hopefully we're gonna deal with it, let alone deal with everything else he's got. And he did lead with Quagsire. I kinda decided to lead with something that can put up the rocks and quickly taunt something, but unfortunately Quagsire does have the Waterfall, but luckily to our surprise he actually didn't one-shot us, giving us knowing that he is most likely especially defensive. And seeing how much this Sky Attack did, yeah, he is most definitely especially defensive, because I'm pretty sure he should have taken that a bit better than he did. But still, getting all this information, he is without a doubt a cursing set, or maybe he's just running special defensive with Toxic and Toxic Starter, who knows. But for now we're gonna decide to taunt him, shut him down from the possible recover, trying to, you know, wear him down a bit to a point where he's gonna need to switch out or have him as a Death Adder, because taking down the Quagsire this early, we don't have a grass Pokemon at our disposal. That kind of speaks a lot, you know. And he actually did switch out, knowing that he can kind of take this move easily and have that Pokemon as a Death Adder later on. You know, it's a solid, wise decision to make in exchange of some HP damage there, but still I didn't really do plenty of damage to him to really be scared of me. So for now he's gonna switch out to that garbage poke, and I forgot his name. I barely ever faced this, so I kinda apologize, but I did forgot his name, and I'm pretty sure that right there is not his name. But right now I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw, then I'm gonna go for the Taunt, as he did decide to put up the spikes. I believe I should have seen it, the switch coming, but I just Dragon Claw, you know, in case he stays in with Quagsire, but that was not the case. He's gonna decide to go for Rock Blast and gets a crit. Gunk Shot actually did hit, did connect, but unfortunately those moves don't really touch you, meaning that Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet aren't really gonna be doing much in this game, unfortunately. Gonna switch out to Rhyperior, seeing that he does have the gunk shot, he does have the rock blast, I resist both. I can most definitely predict the switch, but I still just decide to play it safe. Yeah, luckily he didn't switch out to Rotom. Then again, I'm still looking at a good, healthy amount of HP to where I can still take Rotom Shadow Ball if he does have it. Of course he does, he's a standard Rotom. And he decided to sack his Quagsire. Now he's gonna make a good move, I guess, predict me to be adamant. Maybe he's faster, he would have been faster, but I'm jolly, meaning that I can outspeed him, go for the Earthquake, do a bit over 75, meaning that he cannot sub away, unfortunately. And now I do predict this switch, and knowing that I did spam Earthquakes 24/7, I know he's eventually gonna need to switch out to Rotom, preserve his Machamp for my Snorlax, and that's exactly what he did. But unfortunately with his Life Orb, Rotom actually got one shot at. That was impressive. You know, it's still Rotom, but then again, Rotom's HP isn't all that magnificent to begin with. You know, he's just gonna decide to attack me with Hidden Power. I was kind of trying to scout the Magmortar a bit. Don't want to switch out too recklessly to something else because I don't have too many things to really take Magmortar one-on-one. And he actually misses against the Snorlax. After seeing his Life Orb, he's still free to pick any kind of moves he's gonna go for. If he would have not been Life Orb, he would have most likely been choiced, meaning that I would have make another switch, or better yet, I could have just switched out to Snorlax anyways. But I did Body Slam there, I didn't get a paralyzation on his Magmortar. Now he's gonna switch out to this poke. Focus Blast, I guess, would have been a 2-hit against the Snorlax, but you know, it would have never one-shot me. Life Orb, Magmortar's Focus Blast would have never one-shot me, but it would have most definitely take me down to a range of 100 HP or so, somewhere around that. Now, he actually switches out to this poke, I guess trying to lay down some entry hazards, but I decide to have that Pokemon as a Saddle Fodder. I go to Articuno, no Stealth Rocks are up in here. I'm gonna decide to go for the Rain Dance and proceed to go for the Hurricane, taking down his Garbage Poke, taking out his Absol. I was kinda scared of the possible mid-sash, but luckily that was not the case. Now I'm gonna proceed to keep on using the Hurricane, seeing the Life Orb. I am timid nature, I'm gonna outspeed the Magmortar one way or the other, and I'm gonna proceed to show him my last remaining move, Ice Beam, and take down his Machamp. Now this was a really quick match, but it came down to be a more closer match than it looks like. It ended with a 3-0 score. If his Absol would have been Focus Sash mid-sash, that would have been problematic, because he would have gone for a Sword Dance, he would have outspeed me with Sucker Punch next turn, and proceed to take down my Luxray, superpower my Snorlax, and you know the drill. Articuno is not defensive anyway, it's offensive, and for that reason a +2 may just be enough to take me out. I could have Roost predict that, but still, I guess he was Life Orb and he was thinking that I am running modest and he was jolly, but unfortunately that was not the case, because Articuno does have a bit better speed than Absol. But yeah, that was the game for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick match, and with that being said, let's see what the random Pokemon generator has got in store for us next. Okay, here we are, random Pokemon generator. We're gonna generate a team in a slight second. Now, of course, I'm not gonna be using this team because this team was already revealed, and of course, the element of surprise is not there, being that this is live commentary. So, generate a team. Let's see what the gods itself have in store for us. You know what? No. I'm gonna proceed to generate a team until I actually see something decent, because this is bullshit. I can see fire types just ruin this guy's team complete. In this case being my team, but still. No, that is way too unbalancing. Okay. Now this, on the other hand, this looks promising. Then again, no. It actually isn't all that bad. It actually looks extremely promising. We have Rain Dance, Hurricane, or Articuno, or Marriott. Who knows, maybe a supporter, who knows, but it looks pretty decent, so we're just gonna go with that. This is gonna be our team. Guys, check out this team, pick one of these 6 Pokemon, leave me a set. The person's comment I shall pick, I will name the Pokemon after you. That's my team, so that's gonna be a fun little team to use. I could see some balance from physical and special. That's something I was really looking forward to, actually having some balance to it. Not being too weak to a certain defensive or especially defensive poke, but again, we can still be, you know, kind of weak to a certain poke, but every team does have its flaws. But with that being said, again guys, pick a Pokemon, leave me sets, have some fun, and hopefully you guys will be in my next upcoming match. Until next time, take care, peace.